afternoon, fellow bluegrass people. How y'all doing today in the Commonwealth? I'm sitting here in traffic, headed home from the shop, and leaving home, going to PT. I've got to run home, change into my, I'm not going to say my workout clothes because I ain't really working out. I just done some PT, but I'm still changing clothes. Changing out of these blue jeans and work boots into something just a little bit more comfortable and not near as heavy as these work boots. That's something I don't do very often, is wear sneakers and any type of athletic apparel. Just everybody talks about, oh, it's so comfortable, it's so comfortable. I stick with my jeans and my boots, but I do wear it to work out, so it's a little bit easier to move around. Some of the stretches and whatnot they got me doing, this, that, and other thing. It is helping. I don't know how well it'll do once I'm no longer doing PT, but now they've shown me that what I need to do when I'm through with PT in order to stay feeling as good as I do now, pain-free, I guess you could say. What about this crazy Kentucky weather? I know I talk about it a lot, but this sure beats anything I've ever seen. It was 74 degrees today, right before lunch. Nice and clear, sunny, whatnot. We had a safety walk through today at one of the schools, maintenance and administration. So we went and did that, come back, and we went to another school to work on a couple of door locks. And it was still fairly sunny and nice and warm when we went in, which is still warm. I'm not saying it got cold, but it was still sunshine and stuff. We went in the door. We went in and started working on the door lock, and I don't know what the deal is with door locks this week. We have had the worst time working on door locks, and nothing has went our way, period. This is no exception. We had ended up coming back to the truck a couple different times to get different things that we needed to get it to work right. But anyway, the time we got done and got ready to leave, about 2:30, 2:40, something like that, it had cooled off and the wind had picked up and it clouded up. Beats anything I've ever seen. This year the weather is just off the chain. But like they always say, it's Kentucky. Stick around. It'll change in 5 minutes. Yeah. I was thinking the other day, and I don't have enough time to talk on here about some stuff we got into back when we were Hasty Street, when I was running with them, running their sound and pyro and doing the roadie work for them. But we got into some shenanigans, I'll tell you that. I remember coming back from Moorhead one night. I'll try to condense this down the best I can. But we had two bars in Moorhead, Kentucky we played at. One was the Plaza and one was the Country Club. I just now remember the Country Club. I don't know why I couldn't think of it the other day when I was telling somebody else about this. But it was the Plaza and the Country Club. The Plaza was right off of the interstate, or getting off the interstate and going into Moorhead. It was on the left. Plaza was downtown Moorhead. Plaza was a pretty nice, Country Club was downtown. It was a pretty nice bar. It was a two-story deal. Had netting over the top of the stage so you couldn't throw nothing down from the upstairs balcony. Kind of reminds you of a miniature Wild Horse Saloon. Anybody that's ever been to Wild Horse Saloon in Nashville. But anyway, this one particular weekend, I had a regular job, actually a couple regular full-time jobs. I worked at Dairy Queen, of course. I worked at Walmart. I think I was delivering pizza at that time too, and I was also doing maintenance work for Domino's, Dairy Queen, and a little bit for Walmart at the time too. But I was working in Walmart's shipping and receiving department. I had to be at work like at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, I think, something like that. But we had to play in Moorhead. We just finished up with a little bar in Paris called BJ's Creek. And we went straight from there on Moorhead following weekend. And we had to take all our equipment because it wasn't a plug and play. And we had to set everything up, bring our own PA, the whole 9 yards. So we went up on Friday remember is I left right before the last set started, about 12:30, because I had to be at work Saturday morning, like I said, Walmart, 4:30, 5:30, whatever it was. But anyway, let's say I had a pretty serious traffic accident on the way back. I fell asleep behind the wheel, crashed my truck. And of course, cops showed up and whatnot. Make a long story short, the state trooper that showed up asked me, he said, "Where'd you say you were from again?" So I was explaining to him about the band, yada, yada, yada. And he said, "Well," he said, "you think they've left?" This is the state trooper talking to me. He asked me, he said, "You think they have left that particular bar yet?" And I said, "Well, what time is it?" He told me. I said, "No," I said, "they're probably still packing up, getting ready to leave." Well, I got confused between the two bars, and I gave him the wrong bar name. I told him we were at the Plaza when we were actually at the country club. Well, he said he called the bar. You know, he was trying to give me a ride back to Berea from over in Owenston right then. He said, "They've done left." I said, "Okay." And I said, "What do we do now?" He said, "You think you'd be able to identify the vehicle that they're driving?" I said, "Oh yeah." I said, "There's not another one on the road like it. It's a Toyota Previa minivan." I said, "We call it the kidney bean." I said, "It's about the color of a kidney bean. It's kind of shaped like one." Anybody knows what a Toyota Previa minivan looks like, you know what I'm talking about. And I think it was like a 98, 99, one that we picked up somewhere, little nothing, or borrowed it. So I don't even know where we got the damn thing at now. But anyway, so he said, "All right," he said, "we're going to sit here and wait on them." We pulled off the side of the road right down from where I had TC'd at, traffic crash. And we're sitting on the side of the road, and he turned the lights off, and him sitting there shooting the bull, talking. I was sitting there thinking, what's this guy got planned? He said, "You just let me know when they go by." He said, "We'll have us a little bit of fun." I'm like, "Well, okay." So we're sitting here, and he's driving one of the, this was when they first came out with the Impala Super Sport police interceptors. And, you know, they had, I'm not sure why, I know they had a V8. Can't really remember what size V8, it might have been the big block, but I do know they were cranking out about 400, maybe 450, 500 horsepower because they were in a police interceptor for the state troopers. And me and him sat there probably, I don't know, 45 minutes. And I look over in the mirror, side view mirror on my side. I'm sitting in the front seat right beside of it. I see a set of headlights. They done been 2 or 3 cars went by, minivans. You know, that's it. I said, "No, that's not them." I said, "Trust me, I don't know their car when it comes by." He said, "Well," he said, "you positively identify that minivan." He said, "Then we're going to have some fun." I said, "Okay." Still wasn't exactly sure what this state trooper had in mind here. But anyway, I look over in my side view mirror, and I see a set of headlights coming up over the hill behind us. Where we were at the bottom of a little hill on the interstate. And this set of headlights popped up over that hill, coming down that hill, and I could tell this vehicle was just absolutely doing nothing but hitting the high spots. And something told me that's the guys in the band. That's the kidney bean coming right there. And I told him, I said, "I think this is them coming up behind us." I said, "I'm not for sure." I said, "That kind of looks like the headlights, the front end." And he said, "Well, make sure when they go by that that's them." I said, "Okay." And sure enough, they went by. I said, "Yep." I said, "That's them." I said, "That's them going right there." He said, "All right, hold on." He said, "Put your seatbelt on." Again, still not sure what we're getting in, what I'm getting myself into, what we're doing here, but I'm going along with him because I had to get a ride back home, and I really didn't want to spend the night in Moorhead or whatever county jail, wherever we were at. You know, I wasn't sure exactly what was going to happen. So we pull out and take off after Hasty Street in the kidney bean Previa minivan. And they were out in front of us a pretty good ways. And I mean, they were flying. And I kid you not, people, I glanced over at his speedometer, and we were doing 120 miles an hour. We were gaining on him, but we were doing 120. Now, mind you, this Impala state police cruiser was registered for, I think, either 140 or maybe even 160. It's been so long ago. I know for sure it was 140. We're hitting 120 on I-75, chasing this minivan. And he gets up close enough to him, he hits the lights and the siren, and they pull over. He said, "Now you get out and you walk down the passenger side." He said, "I'm going to get out and walk down this side and talk to him." I said, "Okay." So I get out, he's down the shoulder, and he gets out and walks up, pecks on the driver's side window, and I'm standing back far enough on the passenger side that they can't see me. Even though there's a sliding door there on that side and one on this side, I'm standing far enough back where they can't see me. He pecks on the window, and Wes, man, was driving. And I heard the state trooper talking to him, you know, need your license, registration, whatever. And Wes was getting his paperwork all together. And, you know, I can't remember who was sitting in the front seat, and that's some in the back seats, you know. About 5 or 6 of us all together, you know. There's 4 or 5 in the van and me. I think a couple of other guys had drove or whatever. But, you know, Wes is talking to the state trooper, and the state trooper's like, Mr. Mills, you understand why I pulled you over? And Wes is like, I don't have a clue, sir. You know, trying to play it off. And he's like, well, you were speeding a little bit, Mr. Mills. Wes is like, really? You know, he was kind of mumbling, carrying on. The state trooper said, yes, I clocked you doing 120. Wes is like, oh my God, there's no way that this hunk of junk would do 120. And the state trooper said, oh yes, I clocked you doing 120. He said, you realize I could take you to jail for that right now. You know, he just kept adding on. Wes, I could tell Wes was getting tore up. Officer, I'm sorry, I apologize. We're just coming back from playing a show, yada, 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 you know, trying to explain to him. And the state trooper kind of chuckled a little bit. And he said, yes, I said, that's what I heard. I said, either one of y'all know a skinny little SOB from Berea named Lewis Miller? And they all said, what happened to Lewis? Where's he at? Is he okay? Did he wreck? You know, they kind of got worried because they knew I'd left like an hour and a half or 2 hours early. And the state trooper said, no, said he's standing right there on the passenger side. Said he needs to ride back to Berea. Holy cow, you would have thought the world had come to an end for those guys. Somebody, I think it was Will sitting on that side, that sliding door. He reached and grabbed me and pulled me in that truck. And in the van, he said, get your ass in here. He said, we've got to go. State trooper let us all go. Needless to say, I got cussed and punched and beat on all the way back to Berea. But that was an interesting night, I tell you. But like I said, that's just some of the shenanigans that we got into back in the day. Looking back, I miss those days, and I wouldn't have traded them for the world. And if I had to do it all over again, I'd do it exactly the same way we did it back then. I miss those guys. I really do. Still see some of them every once in a while. Will and Wes and Tim. Haven't seen Jason Kirby in a long time. Still see Bobby Dooley. Like I said, you know, Tony Mills, Wes's brother, he's passed on. I still see the rest of them every once in a while. I ain't seen Jason Kirby in forever. But the other guys, I still run into them every once in a while. But yeah, those were good times. Miss those days. Well, as always, stay safe. God bless. I'll be talking to you.